Hey y'all, this is a 2003 Ski Nautique 196. I'm attempting a steering cable replacement today. This is my first attempt at a how-to video. I get a lot of benefit out of other people's videos. This morning wasn't able to find one that was exactly appropriate to my situation. So this is a 2003 196 Correct Craft Ski Nautique. She's got about 1,200 hours. The steering's become very, very stiff. I'll show you that in a second. So I'm just kind of working through this on my own, and we'll see how it goes. I have not pulled out any tools. Everything has been very simple to remove. I pulled the motor cover. The next plate just lifted up. I took out the back seat, moving back into this trunk area. I just pulled up the floors. Like I say, everything just kind of pops on out of there. Not a single tool needed. And I can see now the connection of the steering cable to the rudder. My guess is it's going to be that through bolt that goes side to side. So we'll pull the new cable out of the box, kind of confirm that, and then go ahead and start our install. Let me switch you back over here to the helm, and when I come here you'll see that like I say, this boat has about 1,200 hours and it's just very hard to turn. So first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the steering cable at the back, kind of confirm that, you know, it's not bound up in the rudder, that it's actually the steering cable. So I can visualize the steering cable running through here. So I don't see any where it's tied down anywhere. I'm assuming it runs up under the floor of the boat, and we'll kind of clean out under the bow and see how that goes. Uneventful. It was a 1/2 inch lock nut, and then the other end's 9/16. Looks like a stainless steel shoulder bolt. Easy to do. I noticed that right on the shaft there is kind of some material here. I wonder if that's like the seal leaking, or, you know, material that came out from inside. But anyway, let's swing over and check out the steering wheel. I'll be interested to see this. Oh yeah, every bit as tight as it was there. Okay, well, I think this kind of satisfies me that it's isolated there. So the game plan is I'm gonna pull the steering cable through from the stern, and I'm gonna tie a piece of rope onto it, and then I'll pull the new cable back through from front to back. So let's see how that goes. The box, I got this from Discount Inboard Marine in Chapin, South Carolina. Go ahead and open this, see what we got. So let's see what we have here. All right, so we have that. At this end, and that looks correct. Let's see what we got here. Let's check that. Wrong. Here's what I did. This gas tank here is full of fuel, and I think it's meant to pull the gas tank out, which might involve pulling that upholstery out also. So instead it comes apart here, 1.125", I believe, inch wrench, but instead there's a bolt that comes in here and goes through an aluminum plate, and I reached under there and was able to get that bolt out. It's a 3/4 inch wrench on the bolt end. This end I had with a crescent wrench, so I'm not sure what the size is. It looks like a 3/4. So anyway, there was one cable tie down here in the bilge holding it. Kind of feels loose the rest of the way. Let me get this bracket off and then we'll pick it back up again. Sorry, amateur hour. I'm going to take you underneath, kind of show you how things are configured there. I think I got one little helpful hint that'll probably make watching this video a little bit better. I've just got the old cable out, new one's laying here in the boat. They look like they're a nice match. But basically, my plan was to pull it all up into the bow of the boat, but you know, kind of working from the U-turn where it comes up out of the floor and up and around. But really, it's not that flexible, so I had to pull a couple feet that way, come back out here, pull a couple feet of the helm back along the starboard side of the boat. And anyway, let's go up under there. So there are two holes here. It was really best just to move the heater out of the way. The one kind of helpful hint is that there's two of these like 1-inch hoses that drain the glove box that are just poked down in that hole, and you can just pull those out real easily, and that gives you a whole lot more room to work with. We're gonna start by bringing it in along the wall around the outside. We'll make our U-turn in here. The only useful advice on the instructions was just not to make a turn any more than 6 inches, which is no issue for us on in this application. So, okay. Putting the helm end along this wall. Sorry about the camera work, guys. Okay, now I'm gonna feed this end up under. Okay, well, the part of the job that I thought was going to be most difficult turned out to be not so bad. The new cable is probably like an 1/8 an inch smaller in diameter, and it has a very smooth coating compared to the old cable. I think that helped a lot. The chase line turned out to be a really good idea. At first it was feeding smoothly, and I thought it might have been a waste of time, but in the end I was really glad to have that. So next I'll re-hook it to the coupler. That is, like I say, probably the gas tank should have come out, but full of fuel, so we're going to just kind of deal with it. That's about it. So re-hook it back up, and then just start putting the upholstery back together. Stay tuned. Connected. That was very uneventful. Pleasantly surprised with how easy that was. Just need to reconnect the rack under the helm. I've straightened the rudder, and that way I'm going to orient the steering wheel with the correct orientation, so hopefully when we go down the lake the steering wheel will be straight. So we're going to do that next. Hooked up at both ends, and let's see how she goes. Oh, it's perfect. You can still hear the rudder moving. That's the sound you hear, but absolutely no effort there to turn. That is perfect. Awesome. Okay, so just need to reattach that panel down there. They got incredibly long screws there. I don't even know why they're that long. But anyway, we'll run those back in. It just goes into a piece of fiberglass behind it. And then that's about it. Put the upholstery back in and we're done. Okay guys, that's a done deal.
Probably I would estimate 3 hours had I worked on it straight through. Maybe 4. Having a helper would definitely be useful to kind of pull that chase line as the other guy would be feeding the cable through from the bow end. I think whether you remove the gas tank or not, I think that's the big question. Kind of looking at it retrospectively, I think it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If you have long arms and can reach around under the gas tank to take that bracket off like I did, that's probably just as easy. Anyway, that's it. A good, successful program here. Steering wheel's working great. And better yet, middle of January, it's mid-60s today here in Virginia, and water temperature over at the power plant is about mid-70s. So looking forward to a good day of skiing today. Thanks so much. I hope this video is in some way helpful to somebody out there. Bye-bye.